Are you a business owner looking to grow your business in South Africa? Tune in to the Blaze Podcast with Telkom Business. Learn from the experts and get tips on marketing, finance, innovation, and more. Blaze with Telkom Business.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special profiling segment featuring the remarkable journey of DJ Zinhle. Join us as we delve into the captivating life story of this talented DJ and businesswoman, exploring her unique path to success in the music industry and beyond. Get ready to be inspired by her passion, perseverance, and entrepreneurial spirit as we uncover the secrets behind her extraordinary journey. Let's dive into the fascinating world of DJ Zinhle. Welcome.
Hi.
So just to kick things off, can you tell us a bit about your journey to becoming a DJ and an amazing businesswoman?
Okay, so I started DJing 20 years ago. Actually, I'm celebrating 20 years this year, which is a big milestone for me. Right? We were discussing my age of age. So it's been 20 years. I started not with the intention of becoming a world famous or a famous DJ. I really just had access to equipment at home. At the time, they were still using vinyls. And my brother had turntables in the house, and he taught me how to, to DJ on vinyls. And the funny thing is, today I've got a show and I'm playing on vinyl.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's coming full circle. So yeah, so I DJ'd, and because I started so early in my career, like so long ago, 20 years ago, I've DJ'd through all types of machinery that people use. And with the influence that I had as a DJ, I just thought I would go into business, also not with the intention of being where I am today. I just had extra time and influence, and I just thought, what am I going to do with this time? And that's when my business journey started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to start with, what really inspired you to start Era, and how has it contributed to your overall brand?
So when I started my business journey, I always had partners and friends. I had a DJ school for girls at the time, and I had a partner in the business. And I feel like even with the DJ Zinhle brand, my brother was heavily involved in the beginning. So one of the biggest reasons I started Era was because I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to see if I could do anything on my own. And I wanted to also have just full control of my business decisions, my creative decisions. And that's how I really started Era. And I thought, what am I passionate about? What do I like in fashion that I can focus on? And it made sense for me to go into watches at the time, but we've then evolved to fashion accessories.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Do you remember just, starting this out and that early journey? What are some of the challenges that you were facing?
Oh, I mean, I think in the beginning, I don't know why I thought I could sell watches then. I mean, in the beginning, it was just the product quality at the time was compromised a lot. And I had to do a lot of things just to learn about making sure that the quality is 100%, and I think that was the biggest challenge. And I'm glad that happened very early in my career, because quality has been something that I've been insisting on for all our products ever since. But I do remember a time when I could fix a watch. Like, I knew how to fix things. I could take things apart and I could put them together, because that is what it required from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the things you were learning about yourself going into that process, and how the parallels work, right? Because when you're figuring out how to learn how to DJ, you're learning a lot and you're changing as a person.
Yeah.
Similarly with this, with the watches, you're learning again. Do you remember the things you were learning about yourself through that process?
I think the one thing that I can remember from the top of my head is I figured that I could actually find solutions if I looked hard enough. So I then just grouped myself as a solution-based thinker. I think that's one thing that came through for me. Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. And also because I came from a background of just always been taken care of. I was the youngest of the girls. My brother was always there. It was just like me being amazed at the fact that I'm actually able to do a lot of good things on my own. I think that was a big revelation for me.
That's really special.
Yeah.
So how do you balance these two worlds for yourself, the DJ creative versus the businesswoman, trying to scale as well?
Sure. The one thing I did very well in the beginning with Era that I didn't do with my own career was I involved myself a lot in the business. Like, I was if I needed a skill, I would teach myself the skill first before I hired someone to work in the business. So that just gave me a lot of knowledge in terms of how to make sure that I get the right people in the business and how I get results in the business with the people that I've hired. And I think balancing those two now has been a challenge, and thank God we have grown and we're able to bring other people in, because it takes a village. It takes a village, you know, it takes a lot of people to just come together creatively and produce something like Era. We work very hard, and because now there's more people on the Era side, doesn't mean that I've let go of a lot of the things that I was doing. It just means I have more work to do. I was telling my friend that for the last 12, Era's 12 years old, and I've been running the website myself for the last 12 years. I've never had an IT person or a developer doing the website for me. There are things that I just can't let go of. And I think sometimes that is a difficulty in business when you want to grow, to let go of those things. So I think my balance comes from trusting the people that are more skilled than me in the positions that we need filled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in this new world where people have a lot more passions outside of their core sort of careers or their businesses, and they want to try and learn this balance that you're talking about. And obviously early on it's very different. Later on you can hire people, they can come in and help. But what advice would you give to someone who's an entrepreneur and they have a career, they understand that this is important for generating income, but I have this creative passion inside of me and I want to let it out. How do you sort of dance between those two things?
I think the one thing that is big for me with that is, I remember someone saying, start where you are with what you have. And I think it's also important to understand, like, the progress or the progression of business. You know, you're not going to wake up tomorrow with a great idea and then 2 weeks later you are making millions of rands. It takes time. And the time it takes is where you're actually learning the stuff that you should learn for when the business is bigger and when you've upscaled. So I think we need to also start respecting the process, you know, just the growth process and the starting point and the things that it teaches us, you know, instead of just worrying about how can I grow this business as fast as possible, because there's danger in that too. And something that I used to do when I was younger in business was I used to trade with my skill. When I didn't have maybe the capital to invest in my business, I say, okay, I need this design for me, but I can't pay you, so can I exchange, can do a DJ set for you? I mean, I still do it now with my peers, but I think the biggest thing for me is just to understand what it is you're trying to achieve and understand the process that it takes, you know, to grow. Don't undermine yourself or rush yourself because you are so excited to get somewhere. I think the thing that builds character is the patience to understand the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How important is that? You know, you're speaking about patience, the process, starting where you are. You know, these are very important components of it. Where did you learn these things, and like how have they influenced how you operate?
I think I learned it from just finding a solution at a time. You know, just like there's a little problem here, how do we resolve it? Instead of just thinking of everything holistically as a problem. And I love small wins. Okay, we had this problem, now we've resolved it. Now we know how to act in this situation, so we move on to the next thing. And I think that's the thing that gave me the patience, you know, to just celebrate the small wins, to say, okay, this was a problem yesterday, but now we have figured this out. How do we then move on? How do we grow to the next level? So it came from that, just understanding that patience and learning. I think the biggest thing for me is learning. You know, you learn in problems, you learn in the process. So I think that is where it came from for me, to just understand that this is all part of the process. This is part of learning, and patience is a big part of it, because it's not always going to go well.
No, it's not.
No.
What does it look like for you to process those challenges and the failure when it does come? How do you navigate those situations?
Sure. Earlier in business, I used to get scared a lot. I used to get scared. I used to panic. I used to freak out. But with time, I just had to make myself understand that all the problems are part of the learning curve, and just, you know, I need to think of the worst thing that could happen. That's always my starting point. What is the worst thing that could happen? And then I always navigate myself back just from that point of, even if this is the worst thing that could happen, it's still not bad. We can still find a way back to where we're trying to go. So maybe just try and remove the fear and panic. That's what I do. And I always think of what is the worst thing that can happen, but also how do we learn from this thing and how do we find a solution and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How has being a DJ influenced your journey in business?
In the beginning, the influence was, I mean, it still is amazing that I have the influence so that I can reach beyond what maybe my peers in business could reach, because they don't maybe necessarily have the influence that DJ Zinhle has. And that's great, because then I can always reach a larger crowd, that I can always use my own lifestyle and my influence to influence people to buy our product. But there's also the part where, because it's a DJ Zinhle product, the scrutiny is even harsher, especially now with social media. Sometimes I feel like customers, and not necessarily our customers, you know, would hold us hostage and hope that something goes wrong with the product so that they can then use it on social media.
And it can be a gotcha moment.
Yes, to shut things down. So that is always a negative for us, because even though we have this great influence that we can use to sell products, it also comes with that type of, you know, negative, I don't know, situation of people saying, okay, this is Zinhle's product, even if it's like, it's one little mistake, we're going to use it and amplify it. And the thing is, it has gone beyond that for me, because I am so passionate about customer service. So that thing always gets me, because that's the one thing that I'm always fighting for, like customer service. But I mean, we've been able to keep afloat, and people have been great, and people have been very supportive. So it comes and goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you guys have been around for 12 years already. With everything changing, you've already mentioned customer service as being very important, but also quality of the products being very important. How do you guys stay innovative and relevant in a constantly evolving market?
I think the part where we got lucky with our brand is our customers took ownership of our brand very quickly. So a lot of the ideas and a lot of the direction that we use, we get from our customers, because they are our greatest ambassadors. They are the ones who wear the product, they're the ones who celebrate the product, and they are the ones who spread the word. I think our biggest marketing strategy outside of social media is definitely word of mouth. Our customers are very big on telling other people about us, posting us on social media. And I think that's why we're so passionate about just always making sure that they're happy, because they form such a big part of what we do. So I'd say that is what guides us. Our customers guide us whenever we need to make big decisions.
That's really important.
Yeah, it is.
Let's talk about Telkom and the partnership that you have with them. You know, how important is it to have really good partners that align to your values and the things that you believe in? But also, what advice would you have for other creators or influencers around this alignment with the right partners? Yeah,
right partners, I think, is where you hit it on the head. Like, I have been working with brands that make sense to my journey, where we can share the same values, or I feel like we share the same values, and there's authenticity in how the relationship is flowing. So as a business person and as a creative, I just felt like Telkom made so much sense for me as a partner, because they mirror the values that I have, and they understand the space that I'm in. And I've gotten a lot of support from the brand in terms of my business, in terms of the DJ Zinhle stuff. And it's so exciting to work with a brand where you actually feel seen. I mean, like when you look at DJ Zinhle and Era, you look at Telkom, it's such big difference. It's such a big difference in terms of scale. But I never feel like I'm the minority. You know, I never feel like, okay, Telkom is dealing with me as if like I'm a small business. I don't feel like that. I just feel like I have the full support, and I'm with a partner that actually understands my values. And I think that's, answering your second question, that is the important thing for me. And the advice that I would give to other people, that partner with brands that feel authentic to you. Because if you're going to partner with a brand that is forced, it's not going to come through properly. Like, customers are smarter now. You can't lie to people. They can see when relationships are not organic, when they're not authentic. So it's important to partner with brands, especially for me, because I don't want to feel like I'm working. Like, I come from a culture of do something you love, then you don't have to work a day in your life. So if I work with brands that I love, then I'm not working so hard. So I never even feel like I am like toiling and working hard for Telkom. I just feel like I have a partner that just understands my vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that understanding of vision is everything.
It's everything, yeah.
It's everything. You know, Telkom Business always talks about, how SMEs should be adapting to digital tools and digital transforming their businesses as well. Why do you think that's important, and how has that played out in your business?
I think it's important because that's the era that we're in, you know? And we spoke about this thing of just like evolving over the years of my career to the new types of technologies and the types of digital platforms that are out there. And it is what it is. We need to be current and relevant, you know? And it's important to educate ourselves about what it is that works in the market now. And that's the era that we're in. I think that's why it works. And just paying attention to those changes and the trends in the space is something that's been very important for me so that I can adapt. And sometimes I feel like I'm left behind, and that's why I need help sometimes from brands like Telkom, because I feel like they're always at the forefront of that kind of trend and that type of change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you approach branding and marketing for ERA specifically? I know it's a very important part of your business and how you guys reach your customers. What strategies have you found to be the most effective?
Again, our strategies come from our customers, and just paying attention to them has given us a lot of insight. We have customers who want to feel seen. That's just the one big thing about our customers. They want to feel seen. So in terms of branding and marketing, that's what we're always going with. Like, how do we make sure that our customers feel seen? And even in terms of how we used to develop the product versus now, we used to, I remember I come from the time when I used to be so shy to show the brand, because I just thought, okay, this is a bit pompous. You want people to wear your brand, but our customers are like, no, actually we want people to see that we're wearing the brand. That's the era we're in. People want to see the brands. People want to tweet or Instagram or TikTok what they're wearing. So a lot of information that we use, again, I'll say, comes from our customers. So even with the branding and marketing, like you said, it's just strategies that will appeal the best to our customers. And also because I'm such a creative, I really enjoy marketing and branding. So I always apply myself.
Because that's the fun stuff, right?
Yes, that is the fun stuff, yes.
Are there parts of your business that you find more challenging where you need to lean on a lot more people?
Yeah.
And you feel like, that's where you really need to lean on people?
Yeah, a lot of it. A lot of it. But I think the biggest one for me was stock controls. I just was like, how do you figure these numbers, these movements, like what is going on? So we've been very intentional, but just putting the right things in place, getting the right people to make sure that there's no shrinkage, that they're on top of our numbers, that we can preempt, how much product we need for a season or for a time, which has been something that has been challenging me for 12 years. But I just feel like at this level of growth, a lot of things I challenge, because now we're operating at a different scale. I think just after COVID, our business grew so much that a lot of the systems that I was relying on when I was on my own are not as efficient as they used to be. So now I need professionals and people that are skilled in the specific, jobs that we need people to perform in.
Yeah. Do you think there are specific challenges that you face as a woman in business that, you are thinking about differently and you are constantly solving differently?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Can you tell me more? I feel like there's something to that question that I'm not getting.
So I think, the experience of women entrepreneurs being unique or different for, different people's journeys. Do you think that has been different for you, or has it just been, similar?
I feel like it possibly is similar. And I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like it's possibly similar. And I just love women and empowerment, the empowerment of women. So I've always been strong about my position in the industry, whether it was the DJing or the era. So I've never opened myself up to allowing being a woman in any field, to dictate my movements. I will, however, say that I am just geared more towards employing females than males, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because I'm just, even with creating products, I think the one thing I feel like maybe could answer your question is we have a male market that is craving our product. But because I just don't feel I have insight into the male market and into the male, like to how you guys shop as males.
Yeah.
I have not opened myself up to developing products for that market. And I feel like we're missing a big part of the market because of that.
Yeah. A very important question. How do you define success, but also, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs have a difficult time answering this part, how do you celebrate it?
I think I've told you like 20 times how I define success. It's the small wins. It is the small wins, just being able to tick a box off. And another thing that also has been a big thing for me for a long time is effort. There are things that you want to do, but when you just think about it, you're just like, oh my gosh, where am I even going to start? Just the effort and the push to just get things done for me is a big thing for me. I always tell my team that whenever I'm working hard, I can just feel the effort leaving my body. And that's all it takes. Sometimes you overthink things, and then when you actually do them, it's just like, it's simple actually. This thing, it seems like so much in my head. And I think that is what stops a lot of people from doing things, because they just overthink things and they think, oh my gosh, this is going to be a big task. So I think for me, just doing the work and ticking off the box and finding the solution is the big way for me to celebrate success. How do you celebrate it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
You just think about it, right? You just ticked off a win.
Yeah.
It's a big win. It's amazing. You just had the big record sales month. How do we celebrate?
By pushing up the targets. We could do this. Surely we could do more. Surely we could. The thing is, at the office, they struggle with that. So they'll send me sales and say, oh, we did very well today. I'm like, okay, if we can do this, then we can definitely do more. Yeah. Then they're just like, I think they always looking for like that validation of, yes, you did it, guys. And that comes, but I'm just like, okay, that's great. But if you could make 20 Rand, surely you can make 40 Rand. Yeah.
Sure. So now we know what motivates your team. What motivates you?
Numbers and results. I love results. I love seeing something work. And then I'm sure you've heard it from how many times I've told you about solutions. Like, I just love results. I love pushing myself. That motivates me. And I had an interview recently, and someone was saying, so are you not scared that you're working too hard? And I said, I think we shouldn't say working too hard as if I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I really enjoy working. I really enjoy applying myself. And maybe it's because I've been lucky to work in spaces that really like fulfill my soul. But that is what pushes me. I just love working and seeing things shift because of the effort that I put in. Yeah. Yeah.
Looking ahead, what does the future look like for yourself, but also for ERA?
The future looks like more numbers. Bigger numbers in terms of employment that we create, in terms of, the success for the businesses, and in terms of me, like, I'm in my mom era. Like, I'm trying to be a mom. I'm skating, I'm cooking, I am doing a lot of crazy things. So I'm very excited just, to have the opportunity to be there for my family in such a big way. Also there's challenges, with being a mom, but I'm really excited that my kids rely on me for so much, and I'm able to, provide them the time and the love and the comfort that they need. It's 20 years of DJ Zinhle, 12 years of ERA, but there's just so much more that I want to do. We're celebrating 20 years this year. I haven't put out an album in 14 years. Sure. So I'm going to put out an album this year, and I'm doing a concert at Nasrec on the 9th of August.
That's going to be amazing.
It's going to be so good.
It's going to be so amazing.
Yeah.
I want to be there.
Are you going to come?
I need
okay.
to be. Last question. What is one thing you wish you knew when you started your journey that you know now?
What is one thing you wish you knew?
How good it was going to feel when it happened, but also how much pain would have to be endured in order for it to happen.
That's
I think
big.
like there's, Yeah, I think the journey, no one talks about the journey, everyone talks about the result. Everyone is, let's celebrate, finishing line. But it's like if we spoke a lot more about the pain and the growth that needs to happen to you as a person to go through a business journey, an entrepreneurship journey, a creative journey, then I think a lot more people would be a lot more conscious when they go into it, that what they're going to learn about themselves is going to be more important than the actual result of everything.
Yeah,
You're the first person to ask me a question on our show. I was not prepared.
That's powerful. That is very powerful. I think for me, I wish I knew that I was enough for whatever, especially business journey I'd get into. I think even now, it's very hard for me to quantify where I'm at in terms of success because I've always thought so little of myself in terms of business. I mean, I come from a family that had a puzzle shop. My uncle was making bricks to sell, and I didn't realize how much even that experience did for me in terms of building me to be this business person that I am today. So a lot of the time I was scared that I wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing today. I'd be scared that I wouldn't be able to run a successful business, especially because I had relied on people so much in the beginning. So that's something that I'm still unlearning even now, to just know that all my efforts, all my hard work will be enough for where I'm trying to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we wrap up this special segment, we hope you've been inspired by her incredible journey as both a DJ and a businesswoman. Her story serves as a reminder that with dedication, creativity, and resilience, anything is possible. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more captivating profiles of individuals making waves in their respective industries. Until next time, keep chasing your dreams and making your mark on the world. Thank you.